When your content is viewed by almost 2 million people, you are bound to see some hardcore criticism. And boy, did they let me have it. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. As a self-obsessed content creator, literally every time I hit upload, I imagine my name up in lights and finally being able to buy myself a Bugatti and block everybody I went to high school with. But what happens when a piece of content really does go viral? I spend a lot of time watching channels like Colin and Samir, for instance, to try and glean new tips and tricks to actually make it someday. But nobody really prepares you for when a video really does get 1 million views. 9 weeks ago, I posted a simple reel of my Optimus Prime cosplay on Instagram. I used trending audio and it's ended up becoming my most viewed piece of content ever with over 1.7 million views and still counting to date. I built this cosplay between December of 2022 and January of 2023, 6 months before Transformers Rise of the Beasts even came out. It took me over 250 hours to produce this build and it's honestly my greatest work. And so the few posts I had made about this build prior to releasing this reel had actually done really well insights-wise on Instagram. I had been posting progress pictures, complaining about burnt hands, complaining about gluing my fingers together. So my followers, my audience base, were already really interested in seeing it completed. And that's one of the important things that I want to talk about in this video. The people that follow a content creator probably already follow that content creator because they like them. I don't really think I have a lot of YouTube subscribers out there who subscribe because you can't stand me and just want to see what stupid shit I say next. If you do, more power to you, don't unsubscribe. I won't criticize. But the fact of the matter is that we content creators tend to feel really comfortable posting whatever we see fit because we know that our audience is really unlikely to insult us for it even if they don't like it. So now back to the post. I can't use the audio for copyright reasons, but basically this is a 12-second clip using a piece of Shaggy's Mr. Boombastic, and basically it's 10 seconds of me standing around with a helmet, and finally when the beat drops and Shaggy says Mr. Boombastic, I drop the helmet on my head and you see this really cool clip of me in my full Optimus Prime cosplay. That's it. I posted this over 9 weeks ago, and when I first posted it, I think it topped out at about 13,000 plays, I think 3,000 likes, and most of them were from my followers. But a whole week later, it started blowing up and I was seeing a huge influx of watches, of follows, of likes, of comments, and the video went from about 13,000 views to 1 million views in just 4 days. This video is still getting about 7,000 to 12,000 views a day, so every day I'm getting tons of new followers from it, and so far I've gotten almost 14,000 new followers based solely on the insights from this video. I don't want to delve much deeper into the insights, nor do I want to talk about how absolutely annoyed I am that this is the piece of content that blew up for me, because I've made way cooler stuff. This really was just 10 seconds of shenanigans of me trying to throw something at the wall and hoping it stuck. But that's not what's relevant here. What's relevant here is this new experience that I had when I went viral. As content creators, every single piece of content we do, we see as our rocket ship to success. Maybe that's just because I'm a narcissist, I don't know. The point is that when we envision something going viral and getting a bunch of views, we envision all these people seeing the content because they like it and liking the content because they saw it. That's the audience follower, audience subscriber, whatever relationship. That's what we have going on all the time. When your content is viewed by almost 2 million people, you are bound to see some hardcore criticism. And boy, did they let me have it. From wannabe Autobots claiming that I disrespected and ruined their leader, to generalized statements about how dog shit my cosplay is, comments notifying me that what I have between my legs does not allow for me to enjoy Transformers, sprinkled in with occasional complaints about my physique and how I am either too curvy or too skinny to be Optimus. I'd love to sit here and tell you that these negative comments were a very select few because I just have so much talent and I'm so wonderful and so charismatic that there's no way that anybody would ever have anything but pleasant things to say to me. But unfortunately, I think the real split here here is maybe 60% positive and 40% negative. 60-40 still gives me a majority of positive comments, but when you have enough comments proportional to 1.7 million views, 40% is kind of a lot of comments to read through. For the first couple of weeks, I behaved incredibly rationally. I argued, I insulted people, I took screen caps of their profiles and made fun of them on my stories. I fought back in my own snarky way, because what sense does it make for these people to come and insult my art and me not have the opportunity to tell them to go f themselves? But then I eventually tried something insane and I just ignored these comments. I started deleting the ones that were insulting me after a few weeks, and I ended up just blocking everybody that had something exceedingly negative to say. 9 weeks later, I'm still deleting about 15 to 20 every day, so my block button is definitely still seeing action, but I can tell you that it's actually been an insane experience. If you had told me a few years ago, hey, I will give you 1.5 million views on any piece of content, I would have gladly taken that deal, because that's what content creators want. I can say comfortably that we want validation. I want validation every time I post something on the internet. Otherwise, I would just build the thing and not post it on the internet. Obviously, I do it because I like the attention and I like the validation. But this video and the reactions to it actually made me regret looking for that validation. There was actually a point where I thought to delete the video just because I really couldn't ignore all the negative comments on something that I was so passionate about. They were honestly just irritating the shit out of me, and I was actually kind of miserable about it for a period. But hidden in all of that vitriol was actually a lesson to be learned. You look at somebody who sells out stadiums like Taylor Swift, who has millions of fans all over the world, and yet she still has millions of people like myself who think her music is absolute dog shit and are openly hateful about her content. It just comes with the territory. The more eyes on any particular thing, the more opportunities for people to like it, but also the more chances that people are not gonna like it. And the more people that see it and don't like it, the better the odds are that some of these people are just gonna have to make their voices heard. So when 13,000 of your fans watch your content and all the reactions are overwhelmingly positive, it's not that that piece of content or your work, for that matter, is perfect. It's just that it hasn't been seen by enough assholes. And believe me, once the assholes get a hold of your content, they will let you know that they have found your content. Because unfortunately for us, they did not learn anything from Bambi.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
And they'll have to let you know exactly how they felt about your piece of Transformers cosplay. Generally, I don't really care about negative comments, but eventually they can sort of start to take a toll on you as a content creator, because even though you might see a majority of positive reactions from the people that support you, it sort of starts to become white noise. When there's 100 different heart emoji comments, they all sort of start to blend into one. And when there's 3 that tell you this sucks, those sort of stick out because they're different from the rest. Having that reel go viral ended up exposing me to a lot of people that I really didn't want to ever find my content because they're awful. But you know what they say, all publicity is good publicity, so even for all the people that said it was awful and I should light it on fire and that Optimus Prime would be disappointed, I still have almost 15,000 new subscribers based off my terrible cosplay, so who's winning now? And that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this content creating phenomenon in the comments below.